Alright, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of Season 10 Axis Placement Game number 5 versus Davidoff. At the time of the game, gold ranked 219th player for the Allies. After my failed Victory City snipe attempt in round number 10, the game turned into a marathon with a lot of calculations and a lot of punch and counterpunch. So, with that, let's get right back into the gameplay. Starting with Germany, round number 12. Alright, Germany, round number 12. So, USA took Jiangsu back, which we figured he would. He also took Yunnan back. And he's building a lot of stuff down here. So it's going to be a race to see if I can get the Manchuria complex up and running before he kills me. So that's going to be interesting. And he's got now he put 3 fighters in Western United States. Is he going to risk 3 fighters against 2 battleships and 2 fighters? I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't think he would, but you never know. Okay, and also he's in position here to threaten the Caucasus, but I figured out the defense for that. I need 3 infantries, 4 artilleries, 3 tanks, and 4 fighters to have a 90% chance to hold this against all of his England stuff, even if he uses all 8 of his fighters. And the cruiser. So, all I did for Germany was buy 12 infantry and 2 artilleries. And for the combat, we're going to take Norway back. And then we're going to take 2 guys and 4 fighters. And then we're going to take 2 guys and the remaining fighter and hit both of those territories. And that's going to be it for the combat. All right. For the non-com, we're going to move 1 guy into Persia. We're going to move 1 tank over to the Caucasus. Our 4 fighters are going to the Caucasus. This fighter's going to Germany. This infantry's going back to Karelia. Alright, we're going to go ahead and just leave the 18 in France for now. And we'll just put everything in Germany. Alright. So 2 artillery, 2 infantry go into the Caucasus, and 10 infantry go into Germany. Alright. If he wants to go and move forward in here heavy, I have enough stuff here, I think, to wipe him out. If he wants to go light, we can trade that back and forth. It's fine, because I'm going to have these Japanese guys come down here as well. So, we can trade that all day long if he wants to keep going light and lose his stuff. It's going to take him a long time to get all these troops from South Africa all the way up here. If he wants to keep trading Italy lightly, I can do that too. He's just going to use up all of his troops here. So, we're just going to keep doing that until we can get a foothold here and take Shanghai back. So that's going to do it for Germany round number 12, and I'll see you guys back for Japan round number 12. Alright, Japan round number 12. So, United Kingdom bought another industrial complex and put it in Egypt. They attacked and took Persia. They bought 2 tanks for South Africa, and they bought a fighter and put it in England. Then he moved all of his fleet into Sea Zone 17, and he moved a lot of stuff into Trans, and obviously took Persia. So I think he's trying to set up an attack on India. Like I said, it's going to be kind of a race now. So, or he could bounce this way and take the Caucasus. So we got to defend that as well. For my part, all I did was buy 3 tanks for Manchuria, 3 infantry for India, 1 other infantry for Japan, and a fighter, which will also go into Japan. And then for the combat, it's really simple. I need to eliminate these land units here so they can't be used in any attack on India. He can only grab 3 guys and 2 3 infantry and 2 artilleries, even though he's got a shitload of fighters, 8 fighters. But I should have enough to defend with what I have now in India, plus the 3 guys that I'm adding there. So we're going to move up here with this one, and our 2 bombers, and our 2 fighters. And then we are going to hit Shanghai with that, and 4 of these fighters. Alright. Let's see how the combat goes. Okay, I can get rid of this because I blocked it, but it didn't work. I mean, he already took it back, so it's okay. Alright. Alright, we lucked out in the combat. We didn't get any return fire at all. So, our bomber is going to go to India. Our other 2 bombers are going to go to India. Our 2 fighters are going back to India. These 5 fighters are going to Manchuria. And then our transports here are going to go right here. We're going to pick up 2 tanks and 2 infantry and drop them in Manchuria. And that's it. Oh, wait a minute. Our Russian guys are going to go down here to Kazakh. And that's going to be it for the non-com. Alright. Our 3 tanks go into Manchuria. Our 3 infantry go into India. And then 1 infantry and a fighter into Japan. Alright, that is going to conclude Japan round number 12, and I'll see you guys back for Germany round 13. Alright, Germany round number 13. So, United States bought a bunch of material for the Money Islands and another bomber and put it in western United States. He may be preparing to attack this with, let's see, 3 fighters and a bomber against 2 battleships, 2 fighters, 3 aircraft carriers. I'm not sure he'll do that. But he may be setting up so he can drop some transports or a fleet here to take Hawaii back. And then he landed in Indochina, Thailand, took that. I'm not really threatening. I'm having an issue with his massive build-up here by the UK. I can't really do anything. But Germany's pretty safe. So all I did was buy a bomber with Germany and 11 infantry. The Caucasus I can't keep. Well, let's see here. Where are the transports? There, 1, 2. Yeah, so the Caucasus, he set it up now, so I think he's got enough stuff to take the Caucasus now. Because he could do 4 tanks, 4 guys, 4 fighters, and a bombardment, and a bomber. That's pretty good. But I think he might be doing a 1-2 on India. But I think it's going to be hard for him to do the 1-2 on India because I'll be able to maneuver fighters and I'll be able to put, let's see, I can't put more fighters in there. They're not in range. 1, 2, no, they're not in range. What? But I can throw the German fighters in there. But I don't want to get too far away from Russia because he could do the end around, bounce back, hit the Caucasus, and take Russia. So I don't want to do that. So anyway, we're going to take this back. We have to take this back. So let's do 2 guys, 1 artillery, and 6 fighters. And we'll kill that. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do with Germany over here. All right. I think that's all we want to do as Germany. Alright, for the non-combat movement phase. Four of our fighters will go back to India. We'll put 2 of our fighters there. We'll move this stuff there. Our Karelia guys are coming down to West Russia. We'll send 6 going up to Karelia. Send 1 back to Germany. We'll send, let's say 4 over there to France. All right, let's see here. All right, I think that's it. Now let's see, this fighter here can go here. All right. We'll put the bomber in Karelia. Right? And we'll put the bomber in Germany. Put 2 infantry in Karelia. We'll put 4 infantry in the Caucasus. We'll put 5 infantry in Germany. All right. All right, that's going to be it for Germany round number 13, and I'll see you guys back for Japan round number 13. All right, Japan round number 13. So United Kingdom, he bought 2 tanks, an infantry, an artillery, and a bomber. The tanks went down to South Africa. Everything else went into England. He then took Persia, he took the Caucasus, and he took Ukraine. Which I guess that's an okay move. But it puts him, he's not going to be able to do a 1-2 on India. There's no way he can do a 1-2 on India. At least not in the next couple turns. So I'm not exactly sure if that was... He can do a 1-2 on India in round 15, but hopefully there won't be a round 15. So I'll have to do the math, but I'm kind of hoping there won't be a round 15. We just bought 2 tanks, 6 infantry, and a fighter. We bought the tanks for India because we're going to actually attack French Indochina Thailand with a bunch of planes and a bunch of land units and hope to kill this stuff here. And then we're going to leave these 3 guys in Kazakh. And we're just going to kill the UK stuff here. And he's got nothing to reload with either. So I'm not sure what exactly that's for. But maybe he's thinking I can't kill these. I don't know. But obviously maybe he wants me to use my fighters to kill these. Which I'm not going to do because I'm going to use my fighters and these tanks to kill whatever's going to attack Kiangsu. So first things first is we're going to blitz Kiangsu and take it back. And then we're going to hit let's see. No. No. All right. I'm hoping we can get 2 or 3 hits and not take a lot of hits back. I'm really hoping we can take not a lot of hits back, but this we'll see. But we have to whittle this down so that when we stack Kiangsu next turn, it can be enough where even if he sacks planes, he won't be able to take it back. So let's get that done. Do I want to take this with... Nope, I don't think I do. All right. Yeah, I know that's poor. All right, that didn't work out so well. Put our fighter and our bombers back in India. We're going to actually move this fleet over to Sea Zone 63. And that's because we're going to try to use these ships to block 61 for bombardment purposes only. That's all we're going to do. We're hoping he doesn't notice this. He probably will. But we're just hoping that... and we're going to put these fighters here. Let's see. 1, 2... No, we won't put those fighters there. Let's cancel that. So what has he got? 3 and 4? Yeah. Let's see here. let's take these fighters and let's put them in Manchuria. And we'll take 2 fighters and put them in Sichuan. That's so we can shuffle them around to see where we need to stack the most fighters. Alright, we're going to put a fighter and 2 tanks back in India. We'll put 3 infantry in Manchuria and 3 infantry in Japan. Alright, that's going to do it for Japan round number 13, and I'll see you guys back for Germany round number 14. Alright, Germany round number 14. So, United States bought 3 destroyers, 2 transports, a bomber, and some more infantry artillery for the Money Islands down here. Put the destroyers and the transport in 56 because he's going to take back Hawaii. Then he lightly took back Jiangsu to get the... he had to because I had 9 victory cities. And instead of stacking this heavy, he laid in wait with 12 units down here and a bomber, so that if I decided to go forward and stack this, no matter what I stack it with, he can probably take it back, and I'll be in the same predicament that I'm in now. So we're going to slightly change our plans from the original snipe, where we were going to hit this with Germany and then stack it and pray. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to try, because he's moved his entire fleet down here deep into the Med. We're going to try a sea lion. So this turn I bought no units, and I banked 46 money. At the end of this turn, I'll have 46 additional IPCs for 92, and we can drop a fat-ass fleet in Sea Zone 5, and unless he reads it correctly and buys 8 infantry for United Kingdom, 2 things have to happen. If he buys 8 infantry for United Kingdom, and if he keeps his fleet here in 16, or moves it to 15 or 14, then the Sea Lion might be an issue, because he can then purchase a carrier next turn, fly planes across the continent, and attack my fleet that I drop before I can land it. If he reads it right. If he decides to go into 17, all of his planes will be out of position, and he will not be able to defend against the impending Sea Lion. We're going to try our best to disguise the Sea Lion, but most likely if he's paying any attention at all, he's going to figure out that that's what it's going to be. And if he thwarts it somehow, then we'll have a shitload of money. We can buy 12 tanks or something. And then just march them all down to Africa. So, for our combat, we're going to take 3 infantry, our bomber, and 1 of our fighters, and attack Ukraine. The other thing that he did is that Africa is pretty empty, except for he's got, 2 mini production facilities here. He's got a lot of units here. If he decides to go heavy into Persia, we can wipe it with Japan, because our intention is going to be to leave India for at least 1 turn, build up, and then drop back down with Japan. Okay. We're going to just add an additional fighter to the Ukraine battle just to make sure we take that. It's the last thing we want him to do is throw an IC in there. Alright, so that we got to do that. Then everything else, we're going to take 6 guys, 3 artilleries, 1 infantry, 1 fighter, 3 tanks, and we're going to hit the Caucasus, and we're going to take 2 more fighters, And then here we're going to take 2 dudes and our other 2 fighters and take Persia. And I think that is it for the combat. Yep, I think that's it for the combat. All right. So let's run it. Strong, strong, strong all the way around. Alright, combat went reasonably well. We did lose a couple guys in Caucasus, but we didn't lose anybody in Ukraine, and we didn't lose anybody in Persia. So, for the non-com, our fighters, we're going to land them in Russia. Except our bomber will go back to Germany. Fighters going to Russia. Our 4 more tanks are going to Caucasus. And our AA gun will move up into Persia. If he wants to attack this with fighters, great. He might not. He might just use his 3 guys and his artillery maybe to try to wipe it. But if he goes heavy into here, we should have enough stuff here to totally crush it. And so we are going to leave India for 1 turn, which I'm hesitant to do, but I think in the long run, it's more important that we go heavy after United Kingdom. Because he's just going to take Hawaii back. So this game's going to be definitely prolonged. So, definitely prolonged. And I'm going to do the math on USA attacking Japan. But I think I can just throw one of my aircraft carriers down in C-Zone 48. And then these transports won't be able to bring anything. But maybe 2 artilleries and a guy, so. Actually, they won't be able to bring, they'll bring in 1 artillery, so that ain't going to work. So. Okay, that's good there. Now we're going to start shift stacking. So, I'm sorry, stack shifting. So our 2 guys are going to come down here to West Russia. Our 6 guys are going to move up to Karelia. This guy's going to go back to Finland. Our 22 dudes are going to Poland. Our 22 dudes from France are going to Germany. Our tank is going to Poland. And these guys are just going to stay in Southern Europe and Italy. Okay. We'll move this guy forward, move this guy forward. Our AA gun will go to Germany, and we'll send an AA gun with our 22 dudes. And I think that is everything. Right? I think that's everything. All right. So let's finalize this non-com here. And we're not mobilizing anything because we didn't buy anything. So let me get rid of this note here. It's just telling me I got to block it with Germany, but I don't because that was a long time ago note. I should have erased it. All right. So we've got a pretty good handle on the Caucasus now. And if we have to start just building massive troops of Japanese and German troops right here and sending them down towards Africa to knock England out of here, then we will. I doubt he'll move heavy into... he didn't fall for this and move heavy into Shanghai, so there's no reason to believe he'll move heavy into Persia. I just got to double check. If I stack this, I should probably be able to hold it against his 8 guy. Well, maybe not, because he's going to have... I'll have no fighters, but I can move... Well, we'll see. If the sea line's a failure, I can move the 7 German fighters after Japan takes this from England. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right. Anyway, that is going to be the end of Germany 14. And I will see you guys back for Japan round number 14. All right, Japan round number 14. So United Kingdom bought 2 tanks, an infantry, an artillery, and a fighter. He put the 2 tanks in South Africa, infantry and artillery in Egypt, and the fighter in UK. Didn't buy any infantry for UK. However, he did move his fleet from 16 to 14, which means that if I dropped a German fleet with a bunch of transports here, they'd be susceptible to fighter attacks from Sea Zone 14. Our plan is going to be to drop a fat-ass fleet in Sea Zone 5, but it's not going to involve transports anymore, so I'll go over that when I get to the German turn. But as far as Japan goes, one of the things we're going to do is we're also going to abandon India for one turn until we can solidify our defense of... We're going to plug up the Middle East here. And hopefully, if we have enough, either drive them back into Africa or we're going to fucking go after them and whack them. So, we did the math on Japan, and if the calculator's correct, we have a 98% or 96% chance to defend Japan with putting no additional units in there. We can get it up to 98% if we throw an anti-aircraft gun in there. So that's what we're going to do. Our purchases were 9 infantry, 2 artilleries, and an AA gun. We're going to distribute the rest of the land units in Moscow and Manchuria. We're not going to deploy anything to India this turn. So we go across the board. We're going to attack this, just hoping that we can kill maybe 1 or 2 of the transports. 1 or 2 of the destroyers before he goes after Hawaii. If we can actually win this battle, it's fantastic. But obviously he's going to recapture Hawaii. Probably not a winner, but it is what it is. And then we're going to kill Kiangsu, right? So we're going to take 3 guys from Manchuria, 5 fighters from Japan, 5 fighters from Manchuria, 2 fighters from Sichuan. Everybody's going to kill that. In Burma, we're going to take 1 infantry, 2 fighters. We're just going to chance it with only 1 infantry. The main idea is to kill this guy so he can't walk into India next turn. So he's going to have to land. He's going to have to make landings with his navy if he wants to take India. So he's going to have to shuffle these around. I don't think that's going to give us any time to buy ships over here, but it might give us a window. Maybe. But probably not. But we'll have to see. And then everything else is going to hit Persia. Our bombers are going to fly to Germany, but on their way there, they can hit Persia. Except for 1 infantry we're going to leave in Kazakh because he's going to be able to counterpunch Sichuan when this artillery here goes up and takes it. I'm sorry. I meant to say France. The bombers are... our Indian bombers here are going to fly back to Europe and they're going to land in France. We're going to end up stacking France on the German turn, and we're going to stage our bombers there. This bomber here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I get there? All right, we're good. I think that is all of the combat that we're going to do. I am pretty sure. All right. let us get this done. Here we go. Oh yeah, and we knew that's implausible, but we're gonna take a shot anyway. You gotta be kidding me. I couldn't get 1, 2, and 4 rounds of combat. Alright. Alright. Combat was kind of mixed. Atrocious result in C-Zone 56. Really good result in Burma. And really good result in Persia. We only lost 1 guy, and we lost nobody in Burma. We lost 3 guys in Kiangsu, which 3 out of 4 hits is pretty amazing. I'm sorry, 2 out of 3 hits. We only lost 2 guys. My math is off. 50% hitting with 2s when I couldn't get 1 single 2 in 4 rounds of combat in 56, but it is what it is. So, 5 of our planes are going back to Japan. 5 of our planes are going to Manchuria. Now I gotta look at which planes are which now. We'll put 2 of them there. 5 of them there. Alright. Now these fighters can go up here as well. Our bombers are going to France. I think that's it. All right, you know what? He's going to die anyway. I don't trust the calculator. I really I should trust the calculator, but I don't. I really don't. So I'm going to grab one of my aircraft carriers up here, and I'm going to put him in 48. And that just means that no matter what, he cannot attack Japan this turn. So he's going to have to attack India. I kind of hate to do it, but I'm just afraid if he starts sacking fighters, and with the dice I've been getting, I just don't want to chance the fact that he can attack with 20 some odd units, and I still have to, I don't know. I'm just afraid of it. Well, maybe not. Maybe I should just grow a pair and not put it there. I just don't know what else I'd be using it for. Fuck it. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. If he takes Japan, this game is over, though. But I ran the numbers on the calculator multiple times. I looked at the map multiple times to see what he could attack with. I consulted the War Department. My logic seems to be sound. If I did the math right and the calculator is correct, I should win that. That just seems... Well, it is what it is. Alright. We did look at the board here, and if he wants to, he could take this artillery and move it up to Soviet Far East, which would be a pain in my ass. So we're going to go ahead and put a aircraft carrier here, and we're going to put one in. I changed my mind again. My aircraft carriers aren't really doing anything there anyway. But at least at that point, I wouldn't have to risk any aircraft to go up there and kill it and not let him get free money. So my feeling is he's probably either going to take Szechuan or take Szechuan, or he'll combine it with this other one and just take Burma back. Probably more likely. But we'll have to see what he's going to do. And then the German turn, we're going to drop a fat-ass fleet in C-Zone 5. And we're going to push back into Persia and see if we can't push into Africa. So that is going to be the end. Let me see. Let's finish the non-com here. And we'll mobilize. We'll take 1 artillery in Manchuria and Russia. We'll take 2 infantry and... Ah, shit. I forgot to repair Russia. Well, ain't that a bitch. That's no bueno. Oh, well. I guess it looks like Japan's getting 3 infantry. It is what it is. I'll have to repair that from before next turn. So I can drop... Alright, hang on a second here. We'll split the difference. We will do... Alright, let's put 4 infantry in Russia. There we go. We'll put 2 in Manchuria. We'll put 2 in India, 1 in Japan. Oh, and the anti-aircraft gun goes to Japan. Alright. I gotta remember to repair this. Let me put a note. Ah, shit. Hold on. You know what? Never mind the note. I'll just edit out this whole fucking thing and I'll just remember to do it. Alright. Let's finish mobilizing. Alright. So that is the end of Japan round number 14. And I will see you guys back for... Oh, he's going to have to take this back. Oh, no, he's not. He can take India. He's going to have to take one or the other. Oh, well. He's going to take... He'll probably take both of them. So, anyway... If for some reason he has the most abysmal dice ever and he doesn't manage to take them, then that would be something. But I doubt that's going to happen. So anyway, that'll be the end of round 14 for Japan. And I'll see you guys back for Germany round number 15. All right, Germany round number 15. So America in round number 14... They bought 4 infantry, 4 artilleries, a transport, a bomber, and an aircraft carrier. And the aircraft carrier went over here, and the transport went over to Western United States. And he took Hawaii, which we anticipated, because I just didn't have enough. I didn't have enough. So... He took back Hawaii, which sucked. we did get a hit back. And he also cleared my aircraft carriers that I had set up to protect Japan. But both of them got a hit back. So they didn't die in vain. So they went down, but they actually took guys with them. So that's not bad. He took Burma, decided not to take India. And then he's still got a handful of troops on Borneo and East Indies. And he landed massive, the biggest force he could land in Kiangsu. Which I'm not really sure why he did that either. Because I can kill that pretty easily, I think. And it's gonna take him a while to reload, to get his transports back down here, to get back up here. So we decided that for Germany, we contemplated trying a sea lion, but he did move the English fleet here, and we've calculated that we could do it light and try to just buy a couple aircraft carriers and a destroyer and then a bunch of transports. But if we did that, we couldn't send our tanks to Persia. So we opted for, we're going to try to push UK out of Africa. But we also, like we said last turn, we did buy a fat-ass navy to throw in Sea Zone 5. We're going to try to dominate the Atlantic. So we bought a battleship, 2 carriers, 4 destroyers, and 2 subs. And all that's going to go into Sea Zone 5. And then we need to make sure we stack France to protect it from these fighters here and the landings that he could land, these 8 units here. And then once we have our navy here and we can prevent any and all landing attempts, we're going to press hard for Africa. So we're not going to do any combat this turn. That's why it's a pretty lengthy discussion for the combat move, but we're not doing any combat this turn. Subsequent turns, I'll use my bomber to bomb UK, because we're going to use these 3 bombers to bomb UK. So every turn until they get shot down, obviously, we're going to hit it with 4 bombers before he gets to buy. So with any luck, we'll have him bleeding money as well. So we're not going to do any combat with Germany. All right. So for the non-combat phase, 4 of our fighters got to go to Sea Zone 5. 3 of them will go to Germany. Our 23 infantry will go into France. Our tanks will go into Persia. Our infantry into Persia. And our artillery into Persia. Our AA gun from Germany will go into France. And our tank will go into the Caucasus. Our 3 infantry will go to the Caucasus. Our 2 infantry from Western Russia will go into the Caucasus. Bulgaria will move forward. Our 22 infantry from Poland are going to move forward. Our AA gun will move forward. 6 guys from Karelia will go to West Russia. And our 1 guy in Finland, I think we'll just leave him there. Now we'll move them forward. Why not? We'll just run. Everybody will run forward. So everybody is going forward. And then if we have, depending on what United Kingdom's response is to this, we're still making 45 IPC every turn. We'll try to press into Africa. We should have enough stuff here that he may or may not decide to back off of Africa. He may... I don't know. We'll have to look at the odds, but it's going to get increasingly harder and harder for him to hold it. And as soon as the 22 dudes get down in 2 turns that are in Persia, he's not going to have enough to hold that. So we'll worry about India when we get to Japan's turn. And I think that's going to be... I know it's a lot of me talking, but... not a lot of moves for Germany, but I just want to make sure we get them right, because any mistake right now could prove fatal, so don't want to do that. So let me get rid of this note. Okay, we stacked France, so that note can be gone. We put the 4 fighters there, so that can be gone, and the 3 fighters there, so that can be gone. So we're good on that. All right. All right. All right. 2 aircraft carriers to Sea Zone 5, a battleship, 4 destroyers, and 2 subs. All right. So we now have the Kriegsmarine back up and running. What do we got here? 3 fighters. Yeah, we can get rid of that. And 4 fighters. So we can get rid of that as well. All right. So that is going to be the end of Germany round number 15. And I will see you guys back for Japan round 15. All right, Japan round number 15. So United Kingdom bought 9 infantry and 2 tanks. All right, he mobilized 2 tanks to South Africa, 2 infantry to Egypt, and 7 infantry to United Kingdom. He then moved his entire fleet from 15, or from, I think it was in 15 or 14. Might have been in 14, over to 13. So he hopped over 1 to 13, so he's still not in range of my fleet here. Except with his fighters, I guess. And he backed out of Transjordan and sent everything to Persia. Egypt. So, for Japan, we went ahead and repaired 1 point from the industrial complex that's damaged in Russia, that we damaged ourselves. And then we went ahead and bought 10 infantry and 2 artilleries. And then for this turn, basically, we're going to try to kill as many land units from the United States as possible so they can't encroach on any more of our territory. And hopefully take back Shanghai, even though it won't win us the game. We're also going to try to protect India. So first things first, we're going to send all of our troops here. Our 5 fighters from there and our 5 fighters from Japan and hit Shanghai. We're going to send our 2 infantry and our 4 fighters from Xingkang to Burma. And then we're going to conduct a triple bombing raid on United Kingdom. So hopefully all those attacks go well, and then we will shuffle around our troops in the non-com phase and see where we're at. So let's run the combat. Strong in Gangxi, strong in Burma. All right, UK. All right, let's hope no casualties. Alright, so the combat went pretty tragically in Shanghai. We got a... let's see here. A worse than average result. 17% result because 50% of his guys hit us back. We got a great result in Burma, though. No losses. So that worked out pretty well. And then we're going to send 5 of our fighters... Okay, that's not those 5, obviously. Alright, we'll send our 10 fighters back to Manchuria. We'll send our 1 guy here to Anhui. We will send our 13 infantry. And our 2 tanks to go in India along with our fighters. Our artillery will move back to Kazakh. Our stuff in Russia will come down into Kazakh. And we'll send the other artillery to India. And our bombers will go back to France. That was an atrocious bombing raid, by the way. 5 damage, really, for losing a bomber. That's pretty shitty. I think that's going to be it for our non-combat move. We'll send our aircraft carrier back over here to 63 to save him. He's still going to be in a world of hurt if they decide to attack. Oh, they can't attack him. They're actually safe. All right. I think that's it for the non-combat move. All right. All right. All right, we'll throw 2 artillery and, I'm sorry, 2 infantry and an artillery into Manchuria. We'll send 3 infantry to India. And we'll send 5 infantry and an artillery into Russia. I mean, I guess if he wants to attack my tanks with all of his fighters, he could do that. Knowing my luck, he'll probably kill them all with no losses. But the only landings he can make really this turn are either in Burma or in India. So, oops. Alright, that's going to conclude Japan round 15, and I will see you guys back for Germany round number 16. Alright, Germany round number 16. So America bought 10 infantry, 2 transports, and some artillery. A handful of artillery and infantry got mobilized to the Money Islands down here. And then the 2 transports and the remainder of the 4 infantry and 4 artilleries got mobilized to the western United States. He then moved half of his fleet, mostly the stuff that was in 61, moved it up to 63, killed my battleships, and my aircraft carrier was suffering no losses, of course, and kind of set up a staging area to start either landing in the eastern part of the Soviet Union up here, or maybe gathering enough troops, because you got 6 infantry here, probably going to gather enough stuff to come down, hit Manchuria, hit mainland Japan maybe, or just land a shitload of stuff in Russia up here. So that's coming, obviously. For Germany's part, we wanted to add a little bit to our Navy, and we wanted to get a more punch up front. So we just went ahead and bought 4 artilleries for the Caucasus, 2 more subs and a destroyer for our Navy in Sea Zone 5, and then 3 infantry, which we're going to sprinkle in between Karelia and Germany. So, not a whole lot of moving parts for Germany's turn this turn. So, our combat is going to consist of 2 guys into trans and our bomber from Germany. And that's going to be our combat. So let's hope we take it. Alright. Combat was as expected. We took trans, but of course we lost a guy. Our bomber's going to go to the Caucasus. Our Persian stuff is going to go to India. And then our fat stack of infantry, our AA gun, our mini stack, and our tank is going to also go to India. We'll have a bunch of infantry here. We're also going to have artillery there. We'll move our Karelia guy down to West Russia. Move our fighters into France. We're going to move our 5 infantry down to Persia in case we have to retake trans after he takes it again. So we're going to whittle away this. Hopefully he uses a few units to take this back. We're going to have a fat stack in Persia knocking on Africa's door next turn. So that will conclude Germany's round number 16. And let's conclude it. Alright, mobilization. Our 4 artilleries go into the Caucasus. We're going to send 1 infantry and 1 infantry to Germany, 2 to Karelia. And then our subs and our destroyer go into Sea Zone 5. And that is the end of our round 16 for Germany, and I'll see you guys back for Japan, round number 16. Alright, Japan, round number 16. So United Kingdom bought 5 infantry and artillery and a tank, and he repaired 5 points of damage from the industrial complex that we hit last turn. He deployed the tank into South Africa, the artillery and the infantry into Egypt, and 4 guys into mainland United Kingdom. And then he moved heavy into Transjordan. I'm not really sure what the point was behind that. I figured he would take it back, but maybe just so I couldn't take it back and he can have 1 extra point. So for Japan, obviously we have the U.S. bearing down on us in both the north and the south, and we just got to make sure that we can we're going to press out and try to get back some of Japan's money, and then get as much defense as we can for Japan and for Manchuria, and then we will go from there and see what the United States does. So our purchases were 1 fighter for Japan, 7 infantry, and an AA gun. The fighter and the AA gun will go into Japan, and we'll distribute the infantry everywhere else. So for the combat, first things first, we're going to bomb the UK. Second things second, we are going to press into Burma with everything. We're going to take 1 of our tanks and take K-Tung back. And that's it. That's all the combat. So let's hopefully we don't take too many losses in Burma. So let's see how the combat goes. Alright, one fighter is going into Sichuan and the other 3 are going back to India. Let's take our bombers and fly them back to France. All right. So all of our stuff in Kazakh is going down here to Sichuan. We're going to move our infantry and our tanks back to Manchuria. We're going to take 3 infantry and move them to Novo, and then the remainder of our stuff. Actually, let's do this. Let's take our artillery and 2 guys into Novo, and then the remainder 3 into Kazakh. We're going to send this small little force up north here in case he decides to start landing in Soviet Far East, so we can at least, we'll supplement them with Germans, but at least we'll get some forces to the front line here within a couple turns. And then I need to fly some of my fighters over to Japan. So we're going to fly 3 fighters over to Japan. All right. So our 3 fighters are over in Japan. Everything else we move forward, I think we're okay. Alright, let's finish this move. All right. All right, for our mobilization, our fighter goes in Japan, and our AA gun goes in Japan. 3 infantry goes into Manchuria, 3 infantry go into India, and 1 lone infantry goes into Russia. And then we'll see if our stuff can hold here. Alright, we're up to 42 money for next turn, which is not terrible. Depending on what he decides to do here. I mean, I guess he could even take this stuff here and go up here and maybe take Shanghai back, or I don't know why he would do that, because I would just kill it. Because he could only bring 3 and 3. I don't know if he can do attack Burma again either. Who knows? It's going to be interesting what he decides to do. So that's it for Japan, round number 16. And I'll see you guys back for Germany, round number 17. All right, Germany, round number 17. So America, he went ahead and bought 11 infantry, 4 artilleries in the transport. He put 9 of the infantry in western United States. He's restocking his industrial complexes down here in the Indian Ocean, I guess you call it. South Pacific, maybe. And then he went up here as anticipated. He took Soviet Far East and Buryatia. And he's actually set up for a pretty decent strike on mainland Japan if he uses everything from the Philippines. Because he's got 8 infantry now in Alaska that are in range of mainland Japan. So that's going to cause an issue. And he can also attack India with the stuff that he has in Philippines and Borneo. So America's coming. It's going to be tight. The attack power is... I still have a slight lead of about 18, but that's kind of misleading. Most of my stuff is land units. Most of his stuff is Navy, but still, he's got enough land units to make an impact and fighters. But obviously, our German push is going to be to crush Africa and then get UK out of the game as soon as possible. So our buy was 4 tanks, 3 infantry, and a bomber. And they're going to go... The 4 tanks are going into the Caucasus. And the bomber's going into Germany with the other stuff. And we're going to try to either force this Navy to back off or we're going to kill it, hopefully. But anyway, we don't have any combat this turn. We're not going to do any combat this turn. So let's go ahead and just end the combat phase. Alright, for the non-combat phase, we ran some calculations, and in order to keep India, we need to keep 5 of our tanks in India. So we're going to only send 3 tanks up to Persia. So, what does he have there? Yeah. So we want to end this turn with, we'll have 16 infantries, 2 fighters, 5 tanks, and an artillery, because this stuff's going to back off from Japan. All right. And then all of our stuff in the Caucasus is moving down. Our bomber's actually going to fly to Japan. We're going to move our West Russia guy down, and then we're going to actually send our Karelia guys east. We're going to send 3 guys from France into Germany. We're going to send 1 of our fighters to Persia. 1 of those fighters to Persia. We're going to take 1 of our fighters from France, and it's going to go to Sea Zone 6 because we're moving our entire fleet there. Our lone German infantry guy is going to go east as well. Actually, let's go this way. Go up to Baltic. And then here we go. All of this stuff here is going to... This is where I hate all the spaghetti, because I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. All that stuff is going forward. Alright, did we miss? We don't even have that many units, so we shouldn't have missed it. Oh. I think that's everything. Well, I've looked at this board for so long, we're going to find out. So let me just review on the summary here. Okay, India Everything moved out except for 5 tanks. Persia, looks like everything moved in. Caucasus, one guy moved in, everybody else moved out. Japan, we landed a bomber. West Russia, guy went down. Karelia, guys left. Archangel, guys left. I'm sorry, they came from Karelia. France, guys left. And Germany, guys left. So, everything moved out of C-Zone 5 to C-Zone 6. So it looks like we're good. We're going to throw our 4 tanks in the Caucasus. Our bombers going into Germany. And we'll put 2 infantry in Baltic, in Karelia, and 1 guy into Germany. We just got to send as many infantry as we possibly can towards Japan, because USA is just so dominant in the Pacific that it's just unreal. So, but we're getting close to hopefully some deciding battles here. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. All right. Unfortunately, we couldn't take any more money. But on the flip side, we should be smashing into Trans next turn, and then we're smashing into Egypt the turn after that. But it's just a matter of keeping all the rest of this stuff alive while USA just spends at will and just lands at will, because we are not threatening them at all. All right, so that's going to be the end of Germany round number 17, and I'll see you guys back for Japan round number 17. All right, Japan round number 17. So United Kingdom repaired the damage we did to his industrial complex in the UK. He bought a tank, an artillery, and 5 infantry. The tank and the artillery went down to South Africa. The 5 infantry went into United Kingdom. And then he backed out of Transjordan completely. He picked up 8 infantry from United Kingdom and dropped them into Morocco using his fleet here. And then he put a destroyer in C-Zone 8 because I have odds to kill this fleet with my German Navy here, with my German Air Force here, plus my German Navy. I have odds to kill this fleet. So he's got a blocker here. So our response to that, Japan bought another AA gun for mainland Japan, 9 infantry, and another plane. We're setting up for defense because he can hammer Japan with a lot of stuff. And we're going to try to hold on as long as possible. Now, there's a move here that we can do that could significantly turn the tide of the war. And it involves these 2 bombers here. But a lot of things have to go right for it to succeed. So, one of the kind of nuanced rules to this game is that if you have 2 occupying armies in a zone that's controlled by whoever owns the zone, the visiting units are killed first, if that makes sense. So if you attack, if you have a shared army, so if I have India, my 5 tanks from Germany, as long as if they were the same IPC, they're going to die first, right? So if I had Japanese infantry and German infantry, the German infantry will die first. It's just kind of a quirk of the game, and we're going to try to use it to our advantage here. So the maneuver is this. We're going to take 1 bomber and suicide it, kamikaze it at C-Zone 13. Take the other one and attack C-Zone 8. If both of these bombers hit on the first round, then the United Kingdom loses his navy. And his fighters are cut off from returning to Africa when Germany storms into Trans next turn. Okay, but like I said, this has to go correct. If either one of these fail, then we're going to have to move our fleet and figure out some logistics, because he has odds with his air power here to kill my fleet. So we'll have to, and buying more Navy for Germany is not really good right now, because I want to send as many land units over towards Japan, because Japan is holding on for dear life. So anyway, those, you know what? I don't want to do that first. Hold on a second here. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use 1 infantry and our 7 fighters and attack Berry. We're going to blitz our tanks into Szechuan. We're going to send 1 infantry and retake Thailand. And that, my friends, okay, we'll send every fighter we got to attack Berry. A little bit of overkill, but if 12 fighters miss, then I might as well just resign the game. Not to say that it couldn't happen, but stranger shit has happened, but let's just say that it's not going to happen. So, all right, I think that's it. So here we go. We'll see if the gambit pays off. If it doesn't work, it's back to the drawing board. All right. So the move failed, and we were unable to kill the American destroyer, which means that the American destroyer will move into Sea Zone 8 and block this Navy here from attacking his Navy. Which that would have been a really decisive battle, but it failed. So sometimes you got to take a chance. Unfortunately, it was no good. So that is kind of miserable. We have to retreat everything out of Manchuria because we can't hold it anymore. For a second there, I actually thought that our gamble was going to pay off, since it took 2 rounds to kill the destroyer. But it did not work. It's amazing to me sometimes that you can't get 1 hit out of a bomber, even in, you would think they only have 2 numbers they can get, which will not hit. So, but it happens. All right. I think that's everything. Oh, yeah. I think that's everything. All right. AA gun, fighter, 6 infantry, go to Japan. 3 infantry go to India. Alright, I guess our only hope is that if he somehow forgets to move the United States destroyer here to see Zone 8, which I don't think that's going to happen. So, we'll have to figure this out for Germany round 18, if it gets that far, if he doesn't capture Japan this round. So that'll do it for Japan round number 17, and I will see you guys back for Germany round number 18. Alright, Germany round number 18. So, we pulled up the map, and it looks like our opponent, one of two things happened. He either made a mistake and forgot about his United States destroyer in C-Zone 13. Sometimes that can happen. You get sidetracked, you got all these moves you want to make in other parts of the map, and you simply forget, oh man, I just needed to put a unit here to block C-Zone 8. But in any case, he didn't do it. So we now have massive odds to kill this entire fleet. So that's good for us. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to stack the hell out of Transjordan and bum rush our way into Africa and clear this out once and for all. And then we have to start sending as many support troops as possible towards Japan, because they're going to be under massive siege. So our buy was 6 infantry, a tank, a bomber, and a fighter. And if I go back to USA's purchase, he bought 2 more transports, 7 infantry, and 5 artilleries. He's just bum rushing. He's going to have more stuff here. It's going to be a while. His best bet would be to just continually stack Thailand with all this infantry here. He may have figured that out, and maybe he's going to start doing that. But if that's the case, we do have a couple more turns before we're in real trouble. So, anyway, we're not going to worry about that right now. We're not going to worry about the Japan defense, but we do have to calculate it, because now he can really hit it with a lot of stuff, including this stuff and this stuff. So that's for next turn. Or, yeah, that's for Japan's turn. So first thing we're going to do is take everything we got from C-Zone 6. And we are going to hit C-Zone 13. Alright. I think that's everything that we can hit it with. Let me just look at my handy dandy trusty calculator here. My trusty calculator says 19 units, and it says 19 units here, so I think we're good. And then we are going to absolutely stack the shit out of Transjordan. And we'll send the plane in there just for good measure. And those are the only 2 attacks that we're going to do this turn, so let's get them done. All right, we are going to hold back some of these infantry. We're going to send... We'll send 30 infantry. We'll leave 6 and they can start heading towards Japan. Because we are going to definitely need to hold off on this. And that should be enough guys to withstand this. These guys aren't going to make it in time because he's not going to have any transports to bring them. All right, so let's get it done. All right, combat was semi good. We actually, let's see. Our bomber will go back to Germany. This fighter will go to India. We'll move one guy to Trans to make it even 30, and the other 5 we're gonna move either to Kazakh or India. And then 2 fighters will move to France. And all right. All right, let's move. And then we'll send. Actually, no. They got to go to Baltic. We'll send all the troops east. Our AA gun will go to India. Okay, and then we're going to put our 5... these guys will go to Kaz. And we just got to get a steady stream of... And we'll put our bomber... We'll put our bomber in Kaz, too. We've got to send it back towards Germany. Yeah, that might be rough with a 5 and 2. He may wipe this out. I don't know. I'm hoping some of them survive. We lost a couple more destroyers than I was hoping. But I guess if he does that, we just drop another fat-ass navy with a bunch of transports and start bombarding UK. So we'll see what happens. So 2 infantry in Karelia, 4 infantry in the Caucasus, a tank in Germany, a fighter in Germany. Actually, no. Fighter will go to Italy. If I can get it here. And the bomber will go... I can send the bomber to Italy also. Alright. Alright. Alright, that's going to be the end of Germany round number 18, and I'll see you guys back for Japan round number 18. Alright, Japan round number 18. So, United Kingdom bought 2 infantry and 2 tanks, and he mobilized 2 infantry to Egypt and 2 tanks to South Africa. He's banking a little bit of money. He's got 42 IPCs left for next turn. And then he hit my residual fleet here in Sea Zone 13 with 6 fighters and 2 bombers, and he lost 6 fighters and I lost 2 destroyers. That was a pretty catastrophic battle for him. And then he backed off all of his stuff out of Egypt, resigning the fact that he's going to lose Egypt. Although, I did calculate that once these troops finally get there and merge with these, he's going to be able to kill a significant number of my infantry. But I still should be able to take Africa. And once I start producing 2 more every turn, we should be able to wear him out. And he should be dead. So then we turn our attention towards Japan. So he can actually hit Japan with a lot of stuff. So we are just trying to play as defensive as possible to hang on long enough for Germany to knock out the United Kingdom. So my buy this turn was 10 infantry and a plane. We did some calculations. We're going to send 4 infantry in the plane to Japan. We're going to disperse the other infantry throughout Asia here. So we're going to do very few moves. So the first move we're going to do is we're going to take 1 infantry and our bomber, and we're going to attack Yakut. Our bomber's going back in Japan at the end of this turn just to threaten any Sea Zone 64 transports that are left unguarded. Right now he's got 3 destroyers with him, but if he happens to make a mistake and leave any of them unguarded, we'll be able to snag them. And then we're going to try to take Burma with 1 guy and the artillery. And then 1 fighter and 1 fighter. We're going to try to do that. Alright. So let's run the combat. Okay. Combat was pretty much a complete failure. We took neither territory. And we lost all of our attackers. Except for the planes, of course. So that's pretty shitty. Okay, we're going to take one of these planes. This plane here, it's going to go to Anhui, and this plane here is going to go to India. Alright, let's see. We're going to send 2 infantry and our tanks to Anhui. We're going to send our fighter to Japan. This guy is going to move down to Sichuan. These guys are going to stay there. Alright. 3 infantry are going to India. 4 infantry are going to Japan. A fighter is going to Japan. And 3 infantry are going to Russia. All right. All right. We're still kind of on the defensive here. Really on the defensive here. But I think that we have a chance if we can flood Africa and squeeze United Kingdom out of the game. Then I think we will win the game. But it's going to take a lot of rounds, I think. And we're going to have to do a lot of calculations every turn to figure out what our defenses are going to be. Because USA is just still coming. They got 6 more infantry there, 9 more there. They're going to be just flooding either the Soviet Union with a bunch of troops, or they're going to hit Japan. So we're going to keep sending as many infantry as we can over here to defend Asia. But we'll see how that works out. So that is going to be the end of round number 18 for Japan. And I will see you guys back for round 19 for Germany. All right, Germany, round number 19. So United States bought another transport, 2 more transports actually, and then infantry and artillery. Sprinkled some infantry and artillery in western United States, sprinkled some infantry and artillery in the Money Islands. Took Manchuria with 1 guy, dropped a shitload of guys into Berry, and then set up to drop 10 more guys and 2 artilleries, and after that he has even more waves of guys to be landing in Soviet Far East, which we figured they would do. So I think he can probably, his supply line is probably good enough to where he can transport, I guess, maybe 6 guys, 5 infantry and an artillery every turn after he drops these fat 10 guys. So we're going to be hard pressed to defend this, I think. But we're going to push into Africa this turn, so we should be able to start squeezing the life out of the United Kingdom. So our buy was 9 infantry, 2 subs, and a transport. The idea between the 2 subs is we're going to put them in 5. Our bombers are going to be stationed in North Asia with range of everything here in UK, so we can't drop a fleet, and we're going to drop some fighters in Northwest Europe to protect against him dropping a fleet, because he does have 42 IPCs for next turn. And then we actually bought a transport. We're going to throw it in C-Zone 15 and see if we can't put some pressure on the eastern United States. Maybe even take Brazil, Cuba, or God willing, snatch frickin' eastern United States out from under him, which highly unlikely, but we're going to give it a shot. So for our combat, we're going to take Egypt. Now, his placement of this stuff here, I have more than enough stuff to defend against 18 tanks and 3 infantry and 3 artillery and 7 infantry. Once he moves this stack over to Libya, then he can attack me with 15, 4, and by then he'll have 20 tanks. But if he does that, we should be able to wipe that stack. So this is going to be kind of tenuous for him. And we're going to be cranking out 2 units every turn in Egypt to replace whatever our losses are. So we'll see how that goes. And so we're going to take that. And then we're going to actually try to get Yakut. So we're going to use our bomber that's in Kazakh and our bomber from Germany to try to kill both of those. And I believe that's all the combat we can do this turn. Yep, I think it's all the combat we can do this turn. Don't need our bomber for the Egypt attack. We gotta have to start sending as many troops as we can east to meet the United States, but I don't know if we'll have enough. But we're gonna try. So here we go. Alright. The Egypt attack was beauty, no losses, which is great. We lost one infantry in Yakut, but that's not bad. We'll take one loss. So we'll move our bombers there. Move our bomber from Italy up there. We're going to move 2 of our fighters there. We're going to move 2 more fighters there. We're going to move our Italy fighter there. We're going to move 2 guys from France into Northwestern to defend against the bombers, and then we're going to move everybody else back towards Germany. Oh, sorry. We're actually going to leave 2 guys here. So let me move only 3 up there. Alright, and then we're moving eastward. So these guys go this way. These guys go this way. This way. This way. Down here. Over here. And, oh yeah, we got to move our fleet. So we're going to take our battleship and go to 15. Our aircraft carriers and go to 15. And our other 2 fighters go to 15. Okay, and our fighter from India is going to go up to Szechuan. Alright. I think that is all of the non-combat moves that we're going to do. Let's see here. Actually, our tank, we can probably move our tank that's sitting in Germany. We can probably send it east as well. So let's send that up to Karelia. Alright. Alright, what else we got? I think that's it. Okay, so I just want to double check Northwestern to make sure we got 5 fighters going there. And 2 infantry. Okay, so that one's good. Everything else I think is good. Alright. Let's finalize this. Alright, mobilization. So our infantry. Well, it's easy. We'll put our subs in there. We'll put 2 infantry into Karelia. 4 infantry into the Caucasus. 3 infantry into Germany. And a transport into C-Zone 15. Now this is going to cause, most likely, the United States to put some stuff in C-Zone 11. But I guess the bright side of that is if he does, it's going to take away from all this shit that he's putting over here amassing against Japan. But the guy's making $60 fucking dollars. 59 a turn, which is ridiculously good. So we're going to squeeze UK and get Germany some more money. But until that happens, we're losing the economic, slightly losing the economic. Let's see, we're making 70, 82. We're making 82, right? 82, he's making 86. I do have a attack power lead of over 40 now, though. Because he lost his 6 fighters trying to kill my fleet. So, alright. Let's finalize that. Alright. We're up to 49 money with Germany. We've got some troops on the move. Not a lot, but all these little 4s and 3s and 6s, eventually they add up to a nice fat stack. So the more guys we keep sending this way, the better. So that is going to be the end of Germany round number 19, and I'll see you guys back for Japan number 19. Alright, Japan round number 19. So United Kingdom, all they bought was 5 infantry. That was it. 5 infantry. He mobilized 2 to South Africa. He put 3 more in United Kingdom. and then he backed off his stack that he had in Sudan to the Congo, and then he moved only one infantry forward into Libya. And that was the end of United Kingdom's turn. Not a whole lot going on there. But he did bank 54 money, so he's got 54 IPCs with which to maybe buy his fleet. So we're going to probably have to add maybe another sub and a bomber or something to just make sure that his fleet is untenable. So, but that's going to be for Germany's turn, so I'm not going to worry about that, because these turns are taking longer and longer to do. Mostly because of the 57 calculations I got to do for each turn to calculate my defenses. The bigger problem, obviously, is the United States, which has... Okay, so this here in the north is a big problem. Really good stack in Berry and a decent stack in Alaska, all of which can hit Japan. However, Japan's defense is calculated at about 90... I want to say 96%. But if he gets into Manchuria, which he's going to... I mean, he's got a couple of plays. He can stack Berry with 24 guys and 10 artilleries and then take Manchuria, which would be pretty detrimental to me. I've also calculated India defense. India defense is fine right now against this little mini navy here for now. But we need to do something about it. If we can clear it out, we do have a idea in mind, but that's a couple turns down the road, so we'll talk about that if it materializes. So in the meantime, we're just going to have 3 attacks. We're going to take 2 guys and 15 fighters and try to take Manchuria back. We're going to take only 1 guy. We're going to take 2 fighters and the bomber from Japan. Try to take Yunnan back, and then we're going to take 1 guy and take Burma. And that is going to do it for the attacks. Not a lot of moving parts yet, but we're gonna soon be in for some major battles, I think. So let's run those. Strong captures. All right, here we go. Okay, that was pretty lucky because we only hit with the bomber. So that just goes to show you fighters are pretty terrible in attacking combat. Use your bombers. So we'll send our bomber back to Japan. Send our fighters back to Japan. We will send these 2 fighters to India. We will send our infantry into Anhui. We're going to back these guys down into Xingkang, and we're going to send these guys into Kazakh. The idea behind this is kind of a lure, I guess, to see if we can get him to go north with his stack. If he goes north with his stack, we have enough Germans to eventually meet him, and the farther away he gets from his supply line, the more likely we can whittle it down and kill it before it does any real damage. The hard part is going to be if he stacks, and if he's patient and he does it, maybe even 2 more turns stacking, it could be really bad for us. So, but that, my friends, is going to be the end of Japan's round 19. All the movements complete. So let me do that, and did I go over my buy? No. Bought a bomber. 1 artillery and 7 infantry, and we repaired the IC in Russia to be fully functional now, so that we can put all of our units there. So let's move all these guys. I'm going to put our bomber in Japan, and we're going to put 7 units. And we can tell ourselves we already repaired. Alright. 7 infantry and an artillery in Russia. Alright. We need to get our money up, but it's going to be really hard to get Japan's money up. What I should do, if it was possible, is leak a couple of guys over here to Africa and have them steal some of these territories. But that's not going to happen. So, that's going to do it for Japan round number 19. And we will see what United States does. And then we'll be back for Germany round 20. Alright, Germany round number 20. So, America bought 2 more transports and more infantry, more artillery. They took Yunnan. They took Manchuria. A little bit heavier this time. 3 guys instead of 1. And they shifted guys over, so there's now 20 Americans with 9 artilleries. Sizable force here. And he's still unloading people, and he's got more people coming in the wind. So this is not good for us. But he did make a mistake that we hope to capitalize on Japan's turn, which is he left these 3 bombers with no cover. So 3 bombers on defense against 2 bombers on attack should be profitable for us. We'll see. You never can tell by the dice, but anyway, that'll be on Japan's turn. So we won't go into that too much. So for this turn, we are going to take 2 guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me tell you about my buy first. Went ahead and bought 2 more bombers for Germany, 7 infantry, and an artillery. I'm going to get as many land units on the front lines as possible, but we're also going to get some air power so that we can project some force and make sure that UK can never, ever drop a navy. So we're going to hit Libya with 2 guys and our fighters. We're going to take our 2 guys from Italy, go to Sea Zone 13, drop them in Morocco. We are going to take our bombers from Evenki and hit Yunnan with our fighter and 2 guys. And that, I think, is everything for Germany's combat move. Alright. Let me just take a look at stuff real quick. Alright, I think that's it. Alright, so let's run these and see how we do. Alright, for the non-com, the bombers fly back up to Evenki. The fighter flies over to Japan. Our 4 infantry move up to Anhui. Our 4 infantry move down to Szechuan. 4 move over to Kazakh. 2 come down from Evenki. 3 go over to Evenki and the tank from Karelia. 6 guys move into Archangel. 4 guys move into Karelia. Alrighty. Our fighters go into Sea Zone 13. Our aircraft carriers go into Sea Zone 13. Our battleship goes into Sea Zone 13. 2 fighters from Northwestern go into 13. We're going to send 2 guys to Italy and 10 guys to Baltic. And we're going to move our submarines to Sea Zone 8. Right? I think that's it. I think that's it. All right. All right. Let's finish this move. Okay, so we run around clockwork. So 2 infantry in Karelia, 1 artillery, 3 infantry in the Caucasus, 2 infantry in Egypt, 2 bombers into Germany. All right. All right, we're making $50 a turn now, which is not close to America. America's still making 59, but Russia's making 0, and United Kingdom's making 26, but he saved up 54. So hopefully he still doesn't have enough ability to drop a fleet here. If I did the math correctly, the most he can buy is an aircraft carrier, 2 fighters, and 2 destroyers. And we should be able to make pretty quick work of that with 7 fighters, 5 bombers, and a couple of subs and a battleship. So if we need to do that, if he decides to buy a navy, more power to him. This is going to be kind of tricky. We'll see if we can't crack this next turn and maybe start taking some of this stuff back and get some of that money. But that is going to be the end of Germany round number 20. And I'll see you guys back for Japan round number 20. Alright, Japan round number 20. So, United Kingdom bought 8 infantry and artillery and a fighter. 1 infantry and 1 artillery went down to South Africa down here. And 7 infantry and the fighter went into United Kingdom. Then he flew his United Kingdom bombers down to Belgian Congo. I'm assuming that he sees my transport here that has range of Brazil and eastern United States. So I'm assuming he put his bombers down here to kill my transport once I land in Brazil. If he sent him down here to help him with this attack here, this attack is 2 turns away from happening at a minimum. And I may even just shift stack and crush Libya and then put more transports here and try to threaten. But again, we'll have to see on the Germany turn. But in this turn, we're going to try to increase the pressure on the U.S. Navy, as well as set up a potential, mostly to set up the pressure on the U.S. Navy, to be honest. So we went ahead and we bought, wait a minute. We bought 2 more bombers and 4 more infantry. The infantry, obviously, for Asia. 2 in India and 2 in Russia. And then the bombers for mainland Japan to threaten this navy here, which needs to be threatened. So I'll keep running the odds until I get enough odds on it. And if we can somehow kill it, that would be fantastic. But that's for another calculation and another turn. We talked about last turn, he made the mistake. He left his bombers unguarded in the Philippines. So obviously, whenever you see unguarded bombers with no land units, you try to punish, since they defended a 1. So our attacks are going to be threefold for this turn. We're going to send 2 guys and our 2 fighters to try to take Burma back. We're going to send 3 guys and every fighter we can muster to try to take Manchuria back. And we're going to take our 2 bombers and hit the Philippines and try to eliminate his 3 bombers, which would be nice. And then we will go from there, moving everybody forward. So let's run the attacks and see how we do. Strong, strong. Unlikely. Oh, just because we're going to not capture it. So, might as well be poor, because there's no way I can capture it. Alright, combat was slightly disappointing in the fact that we lost a fighter to take Manchuria, but we had to take it so he couldn't build there. But we did kill all of his bombers without losing any bombers, which is really nice. So all of our fighters are going back to Japan. These fighters go back to India. And then everything is moving forward. Let's see here. We're going to take 4 guys. Oops. God bless it. Four guys and go into Novo, and then 3 in an artillery and go into Kazakh. And everybody moves forward. And that is it for the non-com phase. Alright, we'll throw 2 infantry in India, 2 infantry in Russia, and 2 bombers into Japan. What I got there now? 8 guys? Okay. Alright. Slowly but surely, I mean, he can stack this at any time, and I won't be able to take it back. I guess he's just loading as many troops as he can, but it's going to be slow going for him. If he goes north, if he light stacks it, I should have enough to punish him. But if he goes heavy, that's good for me because it gets away from this danger zone, and then I can just back off a little bit and get ready to counter. So all in all, we're in a okay position. Obviously not favorable yet. It'd be favorable if all this was ours, but so far so good. Obviously the biggest thing is that if he ignores my transport here with the United States and doesn't defend Eastern United States, I would be absolutely shocked. I would be absolutely shocked. But again, he missed the destroyer from Sea Zone 13. He didn't move it into 8 to block my fleet last time, and it cost him dearly. So maybe he'll make another mistake. Maybe he'll be so focused on trying to hit Japan that he makes a mistake. So anyway, that is for another turn. I will. That will be concluding Japan's turn 20, and I'll see you guys back for Germany, round number 21. All right, Germany, round number 21. So the United States bought 10 infantry, 6 artilleries, and a tank, and they mobilized them he mobilized some of them in Eastern United States, some of them in Western United States, and then he moved his stack from Berry, and he took Manchuria, and he took it heavy, stacked it. So I've done the math on this, attacking with the Japanese forces here and all of our air power. Man, I wish I could swap some of these tanks for infantry, but I can't. And this battle in Manchuria is a 94% battle for Japan, believe it or not, to take the territory if I sack planes and leave one tank standing. Which I think will be a tremendous setback to America. He can reinforce with 10 guys and 5 infantry. I'm sorry, 10 infantry and 5 artillery. However, I can then stack with 10 Germans. Japan will build, and I can also land planes in there. So, that may be the turning point that we need to kick the United States out of here. Long enough for us to hit England, because we're going to start taking Africa systematically until it's completely ours. So, our buy for the turn was 5 infantry, 1 artillery, a transport, and 2 more bombers. We're going to throw the transport in the Med, specifically in 16, and we're going to start shuttling guys over to Africa and Transjordan to get as many Germans flooding into Africa as possible. So for the combat move, but more than likely this battle will probably decide the game. Every like 4 or 5 turns I say this battle will decide the game, and it hasn't yet because this game is going on for an eternity. But this battle will probably decide the game. If it goes terrifyingly, I'll probably be done. But I don't like to forfeit, so. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up these guys and drop them in Morocco. And then we are going to take 26 guys. Oops. All of our tanks and all of our artillery. And hit Libya. And we're leaving some guys in here. That's just to tempt him to use a bunch of tanks and try to take this back. If we can get him to waste some armor in there that we can just crush, dwindling down this is going to be worthwhile. And then up here, we're going to take 2 guys and our 3 bombers. And we're going to try to kill this guy here and take Evenki back. And then that, my friends, is all of the attacks we're going to do for Germany. You just take one more look at the board. Really nothing else we can do that I can see. So, I think that's it. So let's run these attacks. Strong, strong. Alright, here we go. Alright. Combat was kind of ridiculous. 4 out of 6 infantry hit back in Libya, which is ridiculous. But that's what happened. So for our non-combat move, our bombers are going to go to Russia. We are going to move all of these guys up into Anway in our tank. We are going to move our 3 our stuff into Kazakh there. We're going to move our 6 infantry forward. Move this guy down in Sinkang. Move these guys over into Sinkang. Move these 6 guys into Archangel. The 10 guys into Karelia. Alright, let me change my bomber placement here. We're going to actually fly our bombers back to Evenki. We like them there. We strongly considered leaving India with Japan this turn, so we're going to need to put a German stack there, so we're going to have to move our bombers to be able to range this in case the United States took it. But since we're not going to leave India this turn, we don't need to do that. We will put 5 bombers. We'll put the other 2 bombers from Germany up in Evenki, though. We're going to put 1 infantry down in Italy. And then fly our fighters over to Kazakh. We're going to move our subs down to 13. Alright, our 2 Germans will go north, and our northwest guys will go to Germany. Since we don't have to worry about the planes anymore. Alright. Yeah, the idea behind this is if we can force America out and stack it with Germans, then we will be able to keep Japan alive for a little bit longer and start squeezing UK for money. It would actually work in my favor if he decides to go and hit this. Because he'd be losing, more than likely he'd be, well, he probably won't lose anything, so 22 tanks, 22 infantry, 12 tanks, and 7 artillery against 20 tanks. I don't know. We'll have to see. That might be another one of those battles that's pretty decisive. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's finalize this. Alright, we're going to mobilize our bombers to Italy, our transport to Sea Zone 16, 3 infantry to the Caucasus, an artillery and an infantry into Egypt, and 1 infantry into... Actually, you know what? No. We're going to actually put 2 infantry in Karelia. Actually, no, we don't need to because we've got 10 of those guys. So let's go back to what we had going here. So let's put 1 infantry in Egypt, and we'll put 3 in the Caucasus, and we'll put 1 in Karelia. Right? I think that's right. Alright. Alright, we're slowly but surely moving guys over. So, we're going to have a fat stack of Germans on the east coast of the Soviet Union pretty soon. Hopefully it'll be more than USA can deal with. So, that is going to be the end of that'll be the end of Germany, round number 21. A tremendously long turn. And I will see you back for what may be the decisive battle of the 21 round game, the battle for Manchuria with Japan. I'll see you back for Japan round number 21. Alright, Japan round number 21. So, United Kingdom bought 5 infantry, 2 artilleries, and 2 fighters. 2 fighters went into United Kingdom, and an artillery, and 4 infantry. And then 1 infantry, 1 artillery went into South Africa. And then after I shift stacked over to Libya, he moved all of his stuff from Belgian Congo into the Sudan, prepping, I guess, an attack on Egypt. But more than likely, I think, to have these bombers be in range of my fleets here. Because now that he's got fighters, he's building up fighters with which he can attack my fleets. And I'm going to have to do something with my, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's still safe in 16, so we'll have to see about that. We may, I don't know what we're going to do, but. All right, so for Japan, this is our big threat right here, Manchuria. We have an opportunity if the calculator is correct, and I mean, looking at it by my eyes, I don't trust it. What the calculator says, I can take this 94% of the time and still have a handful of planes left over. So I don't think I have a choice. I have to hit this because in this turn he's going to bring over another 8 guys and 5 artilleries, and at some point he can build in Manchuria, so this is just going to get to be so massive that I won't be able to stop. I mean, the trickling troops are nice, but it's just not enough of a force yet. So this may decide the game. But on the other side, we're going to send 3 guys and our 2 fighters to try to take Burma back, and then we'll send one guy down here to Yunnan and take Yunnan back. Everything else is going towards Manchuria. And now for the moment of truth. 8 infantry, 6 tanks, 6 artillery, 14 fighters, 4 bombers. Did I included his AA guns? All right. All right. That looks like all the moves that we're going to do with Japan. So fingers crossed. Let's pray that this works out. And let's roll. It's saying it's strong in Manchuria. Let's hope. Oh man. The combat, dare I say, was absolutely tremendous. We lost 2 planes in the opening attack with the AA guns, and that really kind of made me worried about the attack. But after that, I mean, his hitbacks were non-existent, and I was just getting hits after hits after hits. That is an absolutely tremendous result. I have 2 artilleries and 6 tanks left, and 12 fighters, right? It's a 4% result. So that is insane. Okay, because that result was so tremendous, I got to do a calculation. So I'm going to pause it, and I will come right back and give you the math. We're going to see if we can hold India without dropping our fighters back in there, because that attack on Manchuria went so well. Okay, so we ran the numbers, and I don't need planes anymore to hold India because this went so well. So our fighters are going to fly up to Anhui. These two Japanese guys are going to go to Anhui. We're going to move our Kazakh stack forward. We're going to move our Novo stack forward. Our Russians are moving forward. And I think that's it. All right, we can take these guys. We'll just move them. We'll move them down to Szechuan in case he decides to land. They're still going the same direction, but we can just move them this way instead of over here, so they have access to these territories down here. Okay. But man, that was a fantastic battle. So let's end this movement phase. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's okay, and we almost now with that battle got almost 100 attack power lead. So we're at it looks like 80 or 91 maybe, I don't know, it's close, but that was really good. He is going to be able to move this stuff here back over here, which is fine. So he does have some moves, but with that we might be able to get the money economy lead and keep it, which would be really nice. So anyway, that's going to be it for the movement phase. It's kind of a long-winded turn here. And then let's see here. Our fighter, and let's see, 3 infantry to India. I'm wondering if we should throw a bomber in Russia. All right, that's going to be it for mobilization. All right, that's going to be the end of Japan, round number 21. Pretty good turn for us, and I'll see you guys back for Germany, round number 22. All right, Germany, round number 22. So, United States bought a transport, 7 infantry, 5 artilleries, and a fighter. He mobilized some to the east coast, some to the west coast. Put a transport and the fighter down in Borneo. And then he moved 8 infantry and 2 artillery into Buryatia. And he's got reinforcements of 6 infantry and 6 artillery. So and then these are 2 turns away. His reinforcements, actually that's only 1 turn away, because he can go take the 9 transports there and bring those guys over and those guys up and have 10 more. Well, that's only 1 guy? Oh yeah, that's not good. So anyway, his reinforcements are not really well set up here. So I should have enough stuff in Manchuria pretty much to keep him out forever after this turn. So our main concern now is killing Africa and then killing the United Kingdom. So he still has the opportunity to buy a navy on the east coast of America. If he decides to do that, then we'll have to deal with it. But right now our focus is just going to be keeping what we have and killing Africa. So we went ahead and bought 9 infantry, 2 artilleries, and 2 destroyers. Obviously we're going to send the infantry push, continuing to send it east. And we're going to send as many troops as we can to Africa and get a supply line going so we can start really sending troops to Africa. So, we are going to, first things first, we're going to attack Soviet Far East. And we're going to attack Algeria with one guy. That's it. That's all the German attacks. And then everything else in this turn is shuffling around guys. So we've done the math on some of these battles. This battle here, after we shift stack everybody, we're going to hold it 100% of the time. We can hold it 100% of the time. But we will lose quite a bit of infantry, but then I'll have nothing left in Africa. So that's probably what we want to do. So let's move our tanks. Okay, stop that. Oh, sorry, I got to finish the combat. Silly. Alright. Alright, now we are going to move our tanks, our artillery, and our infantry back to Egypt. We are going to move. We're going to pick up this guy, go to 15, pick up another guy, and drop him in Libya. We are going to take our other transport, go to 15, pick up these two guys from Italy, drop them in Libya. We're going to move our battleship and our aircraft carriers and 2 fighters into Sea Zone 15, and then we're going to drop 2 of those fighters and 3 of these fighters into Egypt to solidify our Egyptian defense. And then we're going to move 2 of these German guys down here into Italy. And then the rest of these guys are going to move east. So we're going to move the 11 east. 6 go east. Now in this case we're just going to move 1 guy into Evenki, and then we're going to move the other 5 down into Sinkang. So they're moving, but they're just moving at a slower pace. It's going to take them a couple more turns. We're going to move all of our 10 guys in our tank, and we're going to move our German fighter here back to Sinkang. We're going to leave Japan. It's done its job. These guys are going into Sinkang. Our 3 infantry are going into Kazakh. Let's see here. I think that's everything. Oh, I forgot the bombers. Okay, we got to move our bombers from Evenki over to Italy. So that we'll have 7 bombers and 2 subs pointed at the United Kingdom sea zones here. So that should hopefully be enough to dissuade him from dropping a navy. But he might have to do it at some point, and he may have to take this attack, which is bad for him. But at some point he may have to take it, because after this turn, if he stays here, I'm going to kill all of his stuff. And then Africa will become Germany's, and then it's just a matter of time that we'll send the bombers back to France or something, that's just carpet bombing, and we can squeeze United Kingdom out of the game. Or hell, maybe the bombers will fly over into the Pacific and start hammering some of these guys. I don't know. Or this fleet down here. Might have to use them to threaten this fleet down here. So they do have pretty good range in Italy. They can actually hit Sea Zone 36 as long as we control Burma. So something to think about if you want to be deceptive in any way. That looks like it's pretty far away, but it actually has range of 36. And I think that's it. All right. Oh yeah, and the Egypt fighters as well can do that. Egyptian fighters will also have range of 36. So if he decides to go heavy into 36. That might be a play. So he has very little defense. 1 aircraft carrier and 2 planes. Wow. All right. We'll see if that happens. But right now, I am going to finish the non-com. All right. So for our mobilization, our 2 destroyers are going into 15. And then our 2 artillery are going into Egypt. And then our 4 infantry. And our 2 infantry. And our 1 infantry. And our 2 more infantry into Germany. And that is everything we can mobilize. This is a nice, fat, healthy stack coming in from Archangel. Actually, these are all going to be pretty healthy stacks pretty soon. So, anyway, that is going to be it for Germany round number 22. And I will see you guys back for Japan round number 22. Alright, Japan round number 22. So, England bought 2 tanks, an infantry, and a fighter. The 2 tanks went into South Africa. The infantry and the fighter went into England. He then moved his Sudan stack over to French Equatorial Africa, leaving only 1 guy here. I guess hoping that I stack it and then won't be able to land fighters here so that he can hit it with all of his stuff. Which is, I guess, not a terrible idea, but I think I have a workaround for that. But that's on Germany's turn. Japan needs to contend with basically three defenses: mainland Japan, Manchuria, and India. So we ran some calculations and we're able to hold all three. We're just going to have to shuffle some guys around and build some more guys, obviously. So our purchase was another bomber, because you can't have too many bombers, 8 infantry and an artillery. And as far as the combat goes, we're going to take 2 guys and 3 bombers and hit Thailand. And that, my friends, is the extent of the combat round for Japan. Believe it or not. It's kind of rough, but pretty simple turn. So let's get that knocked out. Alright, combat was wholly successful. We lost nobody and took the territory. We're going to land our bombers into Sichuan. So they still have range of 63. And now for the movement. We're going to move these 2 guys up. We're going to move the fighters up. We're going to move these 2 guys back to India. These 3, this 1, and these 4 are going up to Anhui. These 2 are going down to Sinkang. These 2 are going over to Novo. And 3 more fighters are going over to Manchuria, so we'll have 5 fighters in there. Okay, we're going to move... These guys went to Novo. We're going to move them actually down to Kazakh, in case we want to divert them and go to India. Or into Africa. But they're one more turn closer. Wasn't that many there anyway, so... Just a slight adjustment to the forward march. Alright, I think that's it. Looks good. Okay. For the mobilization, the artillery, and then 2 of the infantry will go into Manchuria. The bombers going on to mainland Japan. And then 6 infantry will go into Russia. And I think that's it. All right. Let me finish this turn here. All right, my friends, that will conclude Japan round number 22. And I will see you guys back for Germany round number 23. All right, Germany round number 23. So United States bought another transport, a destroyer, 6 infantry, 3 artilleries, and a bomber. He deployed the destroyer and the transport into Borneo. And he deployed some infantry, artillery, and the bomber into western United States. He attempted to take Yakut Light, but he failed. And he moved his Buryatia stack up to Soviet Far East and merged it with another stack that was over here. So now he's got 12 guys, 8 artilleries, and a tank sitting up in Soviet Far East. The one thing that I considered, because this move doesn't make a whole lot of sense, is that he may be going to, with this fleet here in 47 and this fleet here in 63, he may be planning to go to 61 and drop a fat stack of like 20 guys and 14 artilleries, either in like Kiangsu or Kwangtung, one of these coastal things, and then he'd have some hitting power into Asia. So I don't have an immediate response. Obviously, I'd have an immediate response in Kiangsu, but if he goes into like Yunnan or Kwangtung, my response to it wouldn't be that immediate. So he might do that. It's a possibility. Now, if we really think that that's what's going to happen, depending on what England does, we can always throw a destroyer or in 62 and 60, because Japan is making fat money. 40, well, that's not that huge, but... And then we can block that if we think that's going to happen. We may just let it happen, because we should have enough German infantry and German bombers to hammer it into submission if it does make landing. So for our obviously our focus right now is to still take control of Africa and kick out England, and then squeeze England's money into oblivion. So we just went ahead and bought a tank and an artillery for Egypt, 8 more infantry, a transport for C-Zone 16, and a bomber for Germany. And we're just going to keep shuffling troops into Africa, building up our air force, and sending troops to guard Japanese coast. And that's pretty much it from here on out until we can squeeze out Africa. Unless America makes some sort of a inroad, it's a pretty methodical ending to this game. So that's a lot of talking before I do the combat, but we're only doing one combat move this turn, and that's taking 2 guys and 7 fighters and hitting Sudan. That's it as far as the combat. So let's get that done. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me talk about... oh, yeah. That's it. All right. All right. For the non-combat move, take our 2 fighters that have range. And then the other 5 go back into Egypt. We're going to move our Libyan guys forward. And our Algerian guy forward. We're going to grab 1 infantry. Go to 16. Grab another infantry. Go back to 15 and drop the 2 guys in Libya. Then we're going to take our 2 Italians. Drop them in Libya. Then we are going to move 1 German infantry down into Italy. And the other guy will go north. Actually, the other guy will stay there. Just for 1 turn. We'll send 1 guy into Yakut, and then the other 5 will go down into Sinkang. Send our 11 stack over to Evenki. Our 4 Karelians go over to Archangel. 5 guys into Manchuria. Let's see. All these guys into Anhui. These guys are going down into Sichuan. These 3 guys are going into Kazakh. And I believe that is everything. I don't think there's anything else I need to move. So we will finalize this turn here. I forgot I have 3 fighters or 3 bombers there. All right. Let's see here. Our German fighter. Where should we put our German fighter? Maybe Sichuan? Just to give it more range of everything else. In case we needed to go back to Japan or we needed to go somewhere else, we'll throw it in Sichuan. Alright. That looks like the move here, so let me finalize this. Alrighty. Alright, for the mobilization, a tank and an artillery goes into Egypt. Our transport goes into C-Zone 16. 3 guys go into the Caucasus. 3 guys go into India, or Italy. And then we'll put 1 guy in Germany and 1 guy in Karelia. So we'll have 2 guys in Germany. Oh, wait a minute. Our bomber's going into Germany also. I'm pretty sure nothing can hit Germany. I'm not 100% sure, though, but I'm pretty sure. I suck at doing the math on aircraft, though, so forgive me if I get it wrong. All right, that looks like the end of the turn. And I lost $1 somewhere. So I only made $52 this turn. That will be the end of Germany round number 23. And I will see you guys back for Japan round number 23. All right, Japan round number 23. So United Kingdom bought 2 more tanks and another fighter. And I think that was all he bought. And maybe 1 infantry. No, just 2 tanks and a fighter. He's running out of money. He's only down to like 25 a turn now, 23. And he's going to run out of a lot more money because he failed to take Sudan back. So we're going to be able to stack it round 24. once we stack Sudan, it's going to open up the rest of Africa. He's either going to have to go back to South Africa to try to defend it, or he can try the attack and fail, because we'll have a 90%, 99 plus, I think, or 98% chance to defend, because we can land all of our fighters in here now, which we couldn't if he had taken it. He only sent one guy, which amazes me. But he did that. So Germany's turn is going to be real interesting. We're really going to be able to put the squeeze on United Kingdom. So we'll have to consider. We may opt for a fat naval buy, maybe. I don't know. But that might be a couple turns away. All right. So for Japan, we do have to worry about our defenses of India, Japan, and Manchuria. Obviously, the most important one being Japan. And he does have quite a bit of material that can hit Japan. So we calculated that we have to put a few more infantry in here and some more fighters. So what we did is we bought 10 infantry and a fighter for Japan. And then we're just going to do 2 attacks. We're going to take 1 guy and 15 fighters and attack Berry. We're going to take 1 guy and take Malaysia for free. And that is it. So let's get that combat done. Alright, he got hit back, which sucks. But it's not that big of a deal. So out of our 15 fighters, we're going to land 12 of them. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to land 12 of them on Japan. 3 of them are going to go back to Manchuria. Our 7 guys are going to move up to Manchuria. Our artillery. Our bombers are going to fly back to Japan. Our guy in Thailand is going to move back towards India. These 2 guys are going to move to Anhui. These guys are going to move to Kazakh. And our 6 Germans are going to move... I'm sorry. They're going to move to Sichuan. Our six Russian, Japanese guys are going to move into Kazakh. And that's it. Pretty quick turn for Japan. So let's mobilize. We're going to have 13 fighters and 6 bombers. Alright. We're going to put the fighter into Japan. We're going to put 3 infantry into Japan. 2 infantry into India. And then 5 into Japan. So that will get our defense up. We calculated that if he does attack it with all of his stuff, we'll still have like 3 or 4 infantry left, which means he loses all of his planes and all of his land units, and he'll still be a couple turns away from reinforcing with that big of a number. So not bad. And plus Germany's going to have a real big handle on this game in a turn. So that is going to be the end of Japan round number 23. And I'll see you guys back for Germany round number 24. Alright. This is the end of the game. So, United States attempted the attack on Japan. Failed miserably. And right after that, forfeited. So, his attack... let's see here. I lost 29 infantry, so he was able to kill my 29 infantry. But he lost all of his planes, 20 infantry, 14 artilleries, and a tank. And we had calculated it at a 98% or something, 96, 98% to hold. So we pretty much had figured that that was going to be successful. A couple of things where he obviously... my big mistake, I feel, in this game was trying to get the snipe too early and going after trying to stack Shanghai when I didn't have enough to hold it. which I think was like in round 9. What I should have done was been patient, built up a stack in Manchuria, left my fleet in 64, and then at a better time, maybe 2 or 3 rounds down the road, hit Hawaii and stacked Shanghai when I had enough to hold it. But and for his part, Davidoff, he did not. He had every opportunity to put a 3rd IC in Philippines, and then just start dropping 11 infantry every turn into Thailand, which would have been, 4 turns. That's 44 guys. It would have been insurmountable. I would not have been able to deal with it. When I sent my stack of 20 Germans that slowly picked up additional infantry as it moved across Europe and down into Africa, as soon as he saw that, he should have bum rushed his tanks either into Persia or tried to get out of there, because once I got into Trans, essentially all of his attack power, 72 out of his, he lost a bunch of attack power in that last attack, but you're looking at maybe a third of his attack power was trapped in Africa, and he couldn't do anything with it. So, but one of the things I guess I'm not a huge fan of in this game, it feels like it can go into just a stalemate for a long time, where it's just a stagnant. I mean, all I did was build infantry for like the last 10 turns and send them, which worked out. Obviously, my Navy buy, the one time I took a turn off from buying and then put a fat Navy in C-Zone 5, that and his mistake of not moving his destroyer to block my fleet, which enabled me to wipe out his entire UK fleet. And then once I had dominance of the Atlantic here, and he could not put anything, he could never build a United Kingdom fleet anymore, then it was just a matter of cracking Africa and using all of my efforts to try to keep United States away from taking my cities. So it's a victory, so I'll take it, but certainly not a pretty one, and I definitely had multiple opportunities to lose this game. But in the end, the decision just to build infantry for days and send them all east eventually paid off. And he just kept buying transports every turn, which once he had, he's got, 18 transports there, and he still has more transports. He's got 22 transports. He should have been shuffling, he could have shuffled 40 guys at one time over if he could have had a stack. So now he could have just sat there and built 8 guys every turn for 4 turns, and then came down here and sent them over. But that was not to be. I say that to remind people that if they're playing the Allies and you do get control of the Money Islands and there is no Japanese Navy to speak of, it's not a bad idea to just start pumping out infantry and dropping them in Indochina, Thailand. Because if I had to start sending guys here to try to whittle the stack down, I don't think I would have even had enough hitting power to, after 2, 3 turns, 4 turns max, he would have had way more infantry. And even with the Germans coming in, it took the Germans a lot of turns. I think it took, these 11 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4 turns to get from Germany out here. So anyway, my hat's off to Davidoff. I appreciate the game. Quite the marathon. That will be the end of this game and the end of this video. So I will see you guys back for another video. Thanks for watching.